We're here. We're here. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Hello. 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 We thought there was a delay in us going live. What's up, ladies, gentlemen? 7 more days, 1 more week.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how many hours that is, but that's not very many hours left. The 3-year wait, the 11-year wait, the wait is almost over.
Yeah.
Before we get started, though, my name's Harish. This is my boy Tim Wayne. Tim Wayne, how you feeling today, buddy?
Man,
On a Monday.
I'm good. I'm good. I think all of the doubters, all of the guys that are haters, all of the naysayers, I think this should put them to rest. And I know this is, the internet, right? The internet is not fond of anybody, but this should do a lot of talking right now. EA, listen, as much as I have a soft spot for EA, I am very critical of their sports titles. Their sports titles have not been great in the last couple of years. I would say Madden has been okay, with the exception of everybody having special features on each player. But this right here, what we just witnessed today, was really, really special. And I'm really, really excited to talk about it. I'm excited to react to it. Whatever it is, I'm excited. And I'm really, really, really glad to see what we have in store for us within the next week.
So we're gonna do a couple things. Number one, before we watch it again, because I think we're gonna watch. I don't think we'll watch the whole thing because it's 21 minutes. We'll put a link in the description. I'll actually put it in the chat if you guys want to go check it out. Actually, you know what, Tim? I just thought we're gonna go. We're gonna take another method to our madness here. I want to talk about what's all coming this week first.
Right. Yeah. Let's do it.
Because for those of you that follow Madden and just marketing for EA, this week is what it's all about.
Right.
This is where EA makes their bread and butter. We've had conversations, Tim and I, offline about they haven't really marketed this game very well. Things like the Dynasty Deep Dive, the gameplay deep dive, the presentation, that is their marketing for this game. That is all they need to sell you on, right? Yeah. The gameplay from today. This is their marketing. Listen, there's, as much as we love college football, as much as we love the game, this game is a niche market. It is a niche. There's not a lot of things that, this is a North American game, right? This isn't going to sell internationally. Right. This isn't, there's a lot of people that say they like college football 25 over Madden, but there's also a lot of people that there's way more people that like Madden over college football 25. That's just the facts, right? It's just purely based off the numbers. Madden 25 has outsold college football 2-1, 3-1, maybe.
Right.
So this is a very niche market of people. And we are part of that niche, and we are definitely okay with that. So if you guys are expecting college football 25 to outsell Madden, you're smoking crack. If you expect college football to rate better than Madden, you are
that is factual. I think at this point in time, the way things are going and what we're seeing, I do think that Madden will take a backseat in ratings, not sales, ratings, because we got to also understand that Madden appeals to a bigger and a broader audience. Now, again, as much as we are college football fans, we're also NFL fans, and we know that NFL is king, right?
Yeah.
NFL is king. For a number of reasons, their games they have a shorter season, so games kind of mean more. The teams are more evenly matched, so things of that nature kind of happen. of course, with free agency and things, how that works and stuff as well. It just kind of makes it a little bit more meaningful for each game. They only have now it's 18 games. It used to be 15 or 16. So yeah, again, I look forward to it. Again, college football, it's on the rise. I would say college football is number 2. I say it's NFL, college football, and then basketball, NBA basketball.
Oh, you're talking about in America? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So I would say college football is on number 2. But anyway, I'm really excited, man. Before we jump into what we're going over here, Arish, I want to ask you, just before we saw all of this, right? They made the announcement over the weekend, which kudos to them for being extremely active over the weekend. Normally, and this is just a little bit of insider information, guys. Normally, the studios are not active on channels unless it's something that happened that is extremely bad. If a server goes down, there's an issue with, I don't know, you're not being able to access the game for whatever reason, whether it's the Xbox Marketplace, the PSN store, for whatever reasons, these big time Twitter accounts and these big time YouTube accounts and Facebook accounts they're just not active. You need to get some support. Cool. You can get the support, but it's not going to be from that channel. Another channel will hop in there and take your questions, and they'll be able to see your questions if you have some support issues. But the fact that they were even just active over the weekend was really, really dope to see. But yeah, what were your initial thoughts and what were you feeling prior to this video and prior to this morning, what you saw this morning?
Yeah, I mean, that's generally true with any video game studio, right? Video games don't work. This is just how the industry is. I don't think that's synonymous to just EA.
No, not at all. It was just cool to see.
I mean, there's no reason for them to be active over the weekend, right? I mean, yes, gamers play 24/7. We understand that. Game developers have no reason. Game studios have no reason to be active on the weekends, right? Now, I will say I'm surprised that they've picked really interesting times to put this stuff down, right?
Right.
We got last week's dump. They told us on a Friday. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, next week. And I think this is actually unintended. I don't think this is how this is supposed to get rolled out.
You don't think so?
No, because I think this is actually all this was supposed to happen last week.
Oh, okay.
But because of the delays with Madden and the gameplay there, right. I think everything got essentially pushed back a week.
Okay.
So I don't think yeah, I don't think it's that big of it. I just think it's more related to what happened with Madden and related to how they decided to roll it out.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Man, again, based on what we've seen, if you guys haven't seen it, we're not going to go 1,000. We're not going to do frame by frame deep dives. We're just going to pinpoint some things that we think is awesome, some stuff that stood out. There's a couple of things. Do you have any critiques? Do you have any specific critiques? Because I have maybe two.
Critiques as far as what
you've seen throughout that video. There's some things in the game that I don't necessarily know. Again, we don't necessarily know if this is going to be a finished product or not. We don't know if this is an early build or if this was a green disc version where this was the actual version of the game. Based on a couple of pictures that I tweeted, I don't know if I tweeted out on this account or not, but on our Longhorn Fan Battle account or not. But there was a picture that leaked a couple of weeks ago with Donovan Mitchell. I believe this is around that same time. So this is about.
I think it's an older build.
It's an older build.
Yeah, this is I don't think this game has. Well, we haven't heard that this game has been greenlit yet.
Right.
But at this point, it has. I mean, we never got the official word because usually a lot of the games that like tell people that they've gone gold or like. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they say they go gold this week because the launch is next week.
Right.
And can we talk about something else real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
The early release of the game is not supposed to be till Tuesday.
Right.
This game is coming out Monday afternoon.
Right.
Is that intentional? Is that the whole hey, New Zealand is getting it at that time, so screw it. We're gonna make this a quote unquote worldwide release.
I think that's what they're going for. Is that there's going to be a worldwide release on Monday?
Yeah, because I pre-ordered the MVP edition, and I got an email. By the way, if you pre-order the game, you should have been charged over the weekend.
Yes.
And then it basically said your pre-order will be available on July 15th.
Right, that's Monday.
Yes, that is July. And then everything I'm hearing is like July 15th at 5 p.m., which is the New Zealand time of when the game comes out.
Right.
So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. You should be able to start downloading the game this weekend.
Oh, for sure. If you haven't already done it, and I haven't checked to see, but usually you could go on Xbox if you have the Xbox app or the PSN app. Usually around this time, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, you can get in there. You can pre-install the game. You might even see an advertisement from Xbox or PlayStation, depending on who you play with. They may be saying, hey, the EA Sports College Football is available to download, not to play, but to download, pre-install it now. You know, they do those types of things. So, yeah, man, again, looking forward to it. I would not be surprised. And I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not one of those guys. I did not go through Amazon. But the Amazon boys, they might get their hands on the game a little early because it's in the past.
I've heard people already like giving out breaking street dates and stuff. I don't think street dates are that big of a deal anymore.
No. I think what it is that as long as they can keep it close to the chest until Monday, I think Monday all bets are off. It's like, hey, we just gonna do this because again, like you said, they were advertising the 16th. Now it's being advertised as the 15th. I think, and I don't know, I can make a call, but I'm pretty sure GameStop is probably going to do something. It's not necessarily a midnight release, but if that game is available to go early on Monday, I don't see why they don't sell it on Monday. I don't necessarily know if people are going to be able to buy it early in the morning or after a certain time frame. If it is, we'll update you guys on Twitter. I'll let you guys know, what's going on Twitter. But yeah, man, it's right around the corner, man. I feel like it was just February. We were just talking to a friend of the show, Matt Brown, about potential release dates and covers and all this stuff. And like now it's like right here in front of us, man.
Yeah. All righty, Tim. So we got the gameplay revealed today. Tomorrow is Ultimate Team, which I get what the community thinks. They don't care about Ultimate Team. I'll be honest with you. I care about Ultimate Team. My problem with Ultimate Team is they've diminished. Ultimate Team and its core of what it's supposed to accomplish has diminished across the entire sports industry for like the last 2 years.
I agree.
This isn't just an EA problem. I play this year. I vowed to play every single Ultimate Team. No mini spent just to see like what that experience is like, and it's shitty. It sucks. It's dumb. It's quite honestly, it's bullshit.
But you've given some high praise though to the show. You talk about the show.
That was season 1. But then, do you know what they do with the MLB The Show Ultimate Team? Why I stopped playing it?
What did they do?
So you build it all the way up, right? In season 1, and you can get all these 99 overall players, right? In the first 3 months of the game.
Okay.
When season 2 came out, it started all the way over at 88 overalls. and you can only use season 2 players in like online ranked or what they call core players. If you wanted to use a season 1 player, you have to put them in a wild card slot, and you can only have like 1 up to 5 wild card slots. And in order to earn those wild card slots, you have to progress through season 2. I stopped playing the game.
Oh, that's bull. So you
It's
could get a 99 overall player in season 1.
Yeah, that's the way they did it. They didn't seem like you should in every game. They didn't seemingly progress the overalls. The overall restarts every season, and that new season, the idea is that you build every season. Is their idea of it? I guess. I don't know.
That's
I'm
terrible.
not playing it. It's such a waste of time. I'm playing Top Spin 2K25 now, and I'm having a blast.
How do you wait? You're playing Top Spin and you're enjoying it.
Basically all I play.
Really?
The game's hard as hell too.
Top Spin was back in those 360 days, dog. Top Spin was up there with the sports games, dog.
Oh, Top Spin was lit.
It was NCAA. It was in college hoops. If you were a 2K guy, it was college hoops. If you're an NBA Live guy, it was March Madness. Either one. Yeah. You pick your poison. But those are like the glory days of like
sports games. That's when creating the reason why they were able to do like MVP baseball, college, and college basketball is because it didn't cost a lot of money to make games back in the day. Right. You're not going to see you may see a college basketball game. I don't think we're ever going to see a college baseball game ever again.
Yeah, no. It's too
expensive. It's too expensive. Maybe from a smaller studio, but EA is not going to make it. Too expensive. Doesn't make sense to. And EA hasn't developed a baseball game in what 15 years?
Yeah, 20 years.
So it just doesn't make any sense for them to do it. MLB The Show has that market, and I don't think EA cares. They're doing just fine without it. But tomorrow you get College Ultimate Team. This game mode is needed from a revenue standpoint to keep this game alive. Whether Dynasty folks want to hear that or not, that's the truth. They need College Ultimate Team to do well, and I think it's gonna do very well. What I'd like to see is what the balance in this looks like.
Right.
That's what I want to see. I want to see a true Ultimate Team balance, and if they can pull that off, this could become a very popular game. Now, bullying off is one thing. Keeping it going year after year after year is what a lot of these games have been challenged with.
Right.
Staying away from the money greed that this game has become, that this mode across all the games has become.
Yeah, it's been a nightmare for a lot. Like I personally, again, just kind of going through my Ultimate Team woes, and Harish, you know better than anybody that since the absence of college football, like that's what I've kind of delved into the most. It's just that Madden franchise has just historically has not been good within the last couple of months or a couple of years. I'm sorry. And when we were playing Madden franchise at the highest peak, we were locked up and we were inside the house, and that's been 4 years ago. So just not being too worried about I guess the not the dynasty mode, but not worried about that franchise mode and Madden, that Ultimate Team mode again, because I do build my team off of a lot of my favorite players. So, I'm right now in Ultimate Team just to kind of kill time. I'm working and stacking my coins so I can get the Ultimate Team Vince Young card. Or like I think it's like a 99 overall Ricky Williams. And like they've got just players in there that I think, that are my favorite. Now, being able to go back into college football Ultimate Team, there's going to be so many more players that are going to be available because they can just go and knock on the door. Hey, we want you in our game. This is what we want to do. This is what we have. Do you want to be in this game? Yes or no? And the player can say yes or no. don't have to worry about the NFLPA. You don't have to worry about the NFL in general. You can just kind of go in and say, this is who we want in our game in general. There's already been, they've already released information about having over 131 players to choose from when you start the game off. So that's nuts within itself. And as we get, as we progress, hopefully what will happen is that there will be more and more players to come. We've got our cover athletes. I posted that on Twitter over the weekend and on our TikTok page. That we got Travis Hunter, you got Donovan Edwards, and you got Quinn Ewers that will be in the game day one. That you can pick and choose on to add to your squad. They're calling it CUT, so College Ultimate Team. I think that's pretty cool. It sounds better than MUT and FUT and everything else. So yeah, I'm excited about College Ultimate Team. Your mic is on mute because I cannot hear you.
FUT is the best one. Actually, it's not even FUT anymore. It is FUT. It's Football Ultimate Team.
Football Ultimate Team. Right.
The best one. Which also sucks, by the way. I stopped playing EAFC Ultimate Team like 2 months ago.
Why?
Don't play it anymore because it's boring.
It's not. Is it
fun?
So
that and EAFC as a game just sucks. The game is just terrible.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's like Madden. They've gotten to a point where like every player has like all these they call them play styles, right? And if it's a play style plus essentially an X factor, they do these crazy things. The problem is they do all these crazy things, but the base game sucks.
Right.
If the base game sucks and they do all these extra things to it, then you're basically using the X factor system or whatever as a crutch to fix the fact that your game is terrible.
Man, I'm so glad that you brought this up because I over the weekend I was doing a lot of deep diving, rereading a lot of stuff. We talked about a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend with the Ultimate Team. Dupree Burton says Ultimate Team is the best part of it. I mean, to each his own. To each his own. For me, when it's college football related, I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm going to spend it, Dupree. When we get this game and we're able to play it, I'm 1,000% all dynasty. 1,000%. We personally, Dupree, I don't know if you've checked in on us before, but we appreciate you coming on. We have 13 other people that are basically goons, right? These guys all have egos. They all want to be number one. A lot of guys take pride on recruiting. Other guys take pride on playing the game with whoever they got. And making runs at championships and playoffs and things of that nature. So I need in my head, my goal is to get a championship as early as possible in this game because it's just going to get harder the farther we go because people are going to progress, people are going to get bigger jobs, and while we're not doing that, I get my opportunity to not do that. I'm going to play Ultimate Team. Now, I may not be putting as much time into Ultimate Team as I'm putting into the Dynasty, but I will definitely be checking out the Dynasty. Do I think it's going to be the best part? No. What I am interested in seeing is from Ultimate Team, and we'll see tomorrow. And if we have time tomorrow, we'll definitely hop on and talk about it. My thing with Ultimate Team is what players are going to be in the game, because of course you got to have your big dogs, and for me the big dogs are Deion Sanders, Charles Woodson, Tim Tebow, Vince Young, Cam Newton. If you don't have Cam Newton in there, you're dropping the ball. Cam Newton, Peter Warrick, running backs like Eddie Lacy, Mark Ingram the second, Ricky Williams, Adrian Peterson. People like that are what's going to make that Ultimate Team a lot better. Again, I am a big time fan of Ultimate Team. Over the last couple of years, I've spent a lot of money on Ultimate Team. This year, these last 3 to 4 years, I've kind of scaled back significantly. But over the time, collectively, I don't like talking about it, but I've spent a small fortune on Ultimate Team. Even working at EA, I spent a small fortune working there, a small fortune playing Ultimate Team, trying to get the players that we could get the players that I can get, just because I just wanted to have not necessarily the best teams, but I wanted to have my favorite players on the squad. The next thing is that they're going to do a launch roster reveal trailer. I don't necessarily know what that entails. Hopefully what we'll see is a breakdown of the roster itself, the starters for each team. But what I'd also like to see is where these rosters and these teams are ranked in star-wise. So for y'all that don't necessarily follow Ultimate Team or follow college football in general, there is a star system that the college football has always been ranked on. So if you're a bigger team like a Texas, like a Alabama, a Georgia, a LSU, your star ranking is going to be usually up there between, they used to be 6 stars. They've dialed it back since 2014, and now it is a 5-star school. So that rating is what I'm looking for within the launch roster reveal. And the Road to Glory reveal, they say the Road to Glory to be the last thing, which I don't have a problem with. I'm a fan of Road to Glory. I don't necessarily know when I will jump into Road to Glory. If that is something I will embark on like the first weekend, I'll probably go into it to look at Road to Glory. But as far as like it being on my list of things to do, that it's not the top priority. Top priority is Dynasty. Second one would be Ultimate Team. And again, with the only real information that we're getting is on the roster. So game mode wise, it'd be Dynasty, Ultimate Team, Road to Glory. Again, that roster reveal is going to be specifically interesting because not only if they're just, I'm not only looking forward to seeing what they reveal as far as a roster, but what the ranking of the school is what is important to me as well.
Yeah, the star ranking, right? I remember, you can have half stars this year, so that's going to be new.
Which is also weird because did you see in the last video what they had Texas ranked as? It was like 4.5, which I would expect that. Of course, Texas has had some down years, and again, we don't necessarily know the final rankings because that was an earlier build of the school. Texas may be at 5 stars, Texas may be 4, which I'm completely fine with. Again, for me, it doesn't really make a difference right now because it's just the fact that we're getting the game. I do have some critiques. There's some things that I don't like. But at the end of the day, we're getting the game. And that's the most important thing.
If you look at the star ranking, let's just say you're using Texas, for example, in a dynasty mode, the star ranking will be relevant inside of recruiting, right? Because so Alabama is a 5-star, right? Texas is a 4.5 star. That could be the difference between being an A and team prestige and an A+.
Right.
Which could be the difference between a 5-star committing to you and not committing to you. Right. So those things matter, right? But in its general base, it doesn't really mean anything. Right. If you're playing a road to, now that's interesting. They did not do a road to the playoff day. There's not a road to the playoff team dive. Now, now they could be holding out till Friday and just put out a trailer video for what it is, not necessarily like a full out. Or they could just say, "Hey,
you know what? When you think about it,
there's one thing that every content creator has said, and every big content creator keeps tweeting this out. There's still a surprise that nobody knows about that they're going to reveal this week."
Really?
Yeah, Eric Rayweather. I know you don't like Eric, but I like him. He's actually a very viable source. He's very close to the Madden to EA. but he tweeted again yesterday. He basically said, a few screenshots, blah blah blah. We may be getting something else announced for college football 25 this week too. Nothing major but cool. Do you know what I think this is? The companion app.
Dog, what I'm praying for. Okay, so since we want to jump out there, this is the one thing that is going to turn me upside down. I will lose my shit and probably, if I don't necessarily know how I'm gonna feel, I just know my sense of joy and I just know will overflow. I'm excited now, but what will really turn me over is if they say we're bringing Dynasty Wire back.
Yeah.
I think that Dynasty Wire back. Oh my god.
So what I think it's going to be the same website that has Team Builder, just like the old days. You had the Team Builder, the Dynasty, the website, and then Ultimate Team, like whatever roster management, whatever the hell you do in Ultimate Team, like that whole companion app. I think that's coming out this week, because if you look at the way he words it, he basically says nothing major. Companion app's not major, but it's cool. The companion app,
right?
That's what that is. It's got to be it. Like, there's nothing else that it could be. And then also, I think content creators can start posting their own content next weekend or this weekend. So this weekend's
gonna see gameplay this weekend.
Yeah, from a lot of content creators, we'll see gameplay. We'll see.
I'm all for it.
Dynasty people will see people actually playing Dynasty. Like I know MMG. I watched an MMG video yesterday. It says, "Hey, I can start posting videos next weekend."
Right.
So, we're here, baby. It's coming. We have one final weekend without college football. 25. All right, then we've talked a lot. It's been 30 minutes. We need to get into this gameplay deep.
Man, listen, it's just so much, dog. It's so much information that we've gotten within the last week. Again, last week was a really, really good week. It may have been like video-wise, was there a lot of stuff that we could have jumped on here and talked about? Not necessarily, but from a standpoint of like just the details within the game, the polishing of the game is what they seemed to drop last week. And that this week, it seems like they're just hitting us over the head, right? Gameplay, we're hitting you over the head. For a lot of you spectators that are just skeptical of the gameplay, now you have 20 minutes between like 2 or 3 games where you see nothing but gameplay. Now, granted, did I think it was the best gameplay? No, because Donovan Edwards was putting on a clinic, right? It's like that dude was.
You know what? I think that's actually intended, and I think what they were trying to show off here, and I think they were actually trying to show off the skill gap.
Right. You think so?
Yeah, because listen, anybody that's been in the NCAA community watching NCAA rebuilds over the last 5 years knows Bordeaux is the biggest NCAA football YouTuber.
Bordeaux is big. He's huge.
He's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he says it in every video. It's like, guys, I suck at the game. Like, I'm not good at this game. So they know he's not good at the game, but he's also very good at making videos. Right. So I think the intention here was to show the skill gap. And if you master certain things, that's how big the skill gap in the game is. These are two like very evenly matched teams, like from a ratings perspective.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Bordeaux's like, dude, I'm not very good at this game. And Donovan Edwards is probably really good at the game. And if you look at some of the things that they're doing, like the coverage shells, the stick movement, it shows that if you use those things correctly, the skill gap is actually very huge. So I think this is actually intended.
I think this is
and it's a great way to show how important it is to master various aspects of the game.
I think it also goes to show that like you should, if you want to be good at the game, not only should you play it, but if there's a practice mode where you can learn how to do these things and utilize these features in the game, if they're available to you, you should utilize them if you want to get better. Now, if you're just a casual player and you're just grateful to get the game back, like a lot of us are, then yeah. But I would say me, Harish, the guys that we represent are going to be more on the hardcore side, meaning that this game is probably going to be the base game that we're going to be playing for the next 12 months. Like,
yeah.
Like I without a doubt, I know for sure there's maybe 1 or 2 more games that I plan on buying for the year, and that's it.
And I already bought one of them because I bought the MVP edition.
Exactly.
I mean, there's going to be more than 1 or 2. Obviously, we need to talk offline about Wukong because it got delayed on Xbox only. So I might just buy that on PlayStation because I'm not waiting. Oh, yeah, there's some issues with the Series S version of the game, and they can't get it to work. So they have to. They're delaying both of them, unless they're actually going to ask Phil Spencer if they can still release it and get like a waiver. But if they can't, and if they delay it, I'm not buying it on Xbox. I'm buying it on PS5 because I will be playing that game when it comes out.
I've been waiting for that game for 5+ years.
Yeah, so I'm not waiting for that to be fixed.
Right.
I might actually buy it on PC because I don't really have like a big PC game.
And it would probably be cheaper on PC, honestly. Like $20, $30 cheaper.
Yeah. So I'll definitely be buying Wukong. Obviously, I'll be buying EAFC 25. There's a rumor that FIFA 2K25 is coming out this year. So
there is a rumor about that. I've seen about that.
Obviously, 2K, yeah. I mean, so there's still, but out of all those games, I probably won't be playing anything more than this and FIFA. Right. Honestly, this will get most of my time.
Right. There's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out that I'm going to be head over heels for. You know, I talked with another friend of mine about Snake Eater coming out, Metal Gear Solid 3, the remake coming out. That looks beautiful.
That looks awesome.
The original cast. It's been so long since I played that game. I don't remember everything that's happened. So when a game comes out, it'll be like I'm playing it again. But again, for the most part, guys, the most part of my gaming is going to be this game that you're looking at right here.
Yep. All right, Tim, let's take a look at this, and we can kind of, if you want to pause it or whatever. I want to take this banner down because I just want people to see everything.
Okay, for sure.
If you want to pause it or whatever you want to do, just let me know. I want to try. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
All right, this is way better. You're all right with this view?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, I just saw something that's very interesting, but we'll talk about that later.
Is it a tweet?
Yeah, it's not. I don't really care to talk about it. It's like the whole thing with what's his name? Who's that famous Texans guy?
Sketch?
Yeah, that whole thing.
Listen, man, you can't. I don't care what he did in the past. As long as he weren't doing anything with kids, I don't really care. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that people continue to harp on it. Let's talk about what he's doing right now. How, like, regardless of what we think or what people think of that guy and what he's done in his past, what he's doing right now is great because he's gonna be in Madden 25. He's got to play the game earlier, and he's cool with CJ Stroud. He's probably gonna be
real homies.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be cool with all. Probably gonna be at all of the Texas games, and he was a dog on the field. So I don't care what that man did in his past. That doesn't bother me. You do your thing, bro. That ain't got nothing to do with me. The fact that guy is sitting up here throwing balls and going to the EA studios.
And tearing his ACL, combine, bro, or his hamstring, whatever the hell he tore.
Whatever, it don't matter, dog. It's like that dude is getting money, man.
Cool dude,
cool dude. He seemed like a cool dude to me. I don't care. I would hang out with the guy. I'll play Madden against the guy if we ever had the opportunity to play. So none of that bothers me, man. Let's continue.
I need to get on my personal account and do this because Tyreek Hill just tweeted something. I'm going to troll the shit out of him.
What? Wait, what? What? There's so much stuff happening.
He tweeted out sketch done play jaw, and I really want to say, and you beat your wife. So what are we talking about here?
Whoa.
But I'll leave that to myself.
Don't do that on our account. Don't do that on Longhorn Fan Battle account. Listen, make sure you guys follow us on Longhorn Fan Battle. You know, to get all the Longhorn news and college football news. Make sure that you stick.
We only talk about the Longhorns.
We only talk about the Longhorns there.
Listen,
moving right along.
People want to go and hold this guy for his past. We could go dig up the past for all these players that really have big mouths right now.
Honestly, I love Tyreek Hill.
I do too. But don't sit here and act like yeah.
He probably shouldn't do that. He probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, he should probably delete this tweet.
Delete the tweet, bro. Delete the tweet. Oh man, because
there's enough people in here that already got ahead of that.
Oh, awesome. There you
but
go.
Anyway, all right, so we'll just go by this frame by frame, not frame by frame, but we'll just kind of play through it. If there's anything you want to stop and point out, we can do this. Well, I don't think we're gonna watch the whole 21-minute video. Actually, we might watch the whole 21-minute video. Don't goof me. But yeah, well, we'll just go through it. If you want to stop, let me know.
Okay.
Oh, should probably hit the actual thing. All right, so this is kind of the start of it. I think immediately the first, actually, no. This is the first thing that everybody's seen for months, right? Now, I think you don't see the previous screen to this, which had like the pageantry at the bottom and like the different. I really, for when they showed it in Oklahoma State when it had the old school Oklahoma State logo, I really hope they have the old school Bevo Texas logo.
Like, so you could customize what logo you want to show.
No. I hope it's just there by You know which one I'm talking about? Like the super sick badass one.
Are you talking about the old school Bevo where it's just like Bevo's head, or are you talking about the one like the Bevo, like the full body Bevo, like the old school full body Bevo?
This one. You can't see it?
Nope.
Oh shoot. I thought I shared a window. Hold on. Window.
Speaking of old school Bevos, I do like the resurgence. Yeah, that's yeah.
I really want this one. If they got the Longhorn one, right?
You know, one guy made all of those logos, right? That's those logos that we see from the that were back in like the early 90s, the early 60s and stuff. One guy made all of those logos. It's a certain style. Forget the guy's name. But he made those logos. And again, this is just me, this is just me projecting. I would really like to see one day one of those logos on a helmet. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be at a practice for all I care.
I want that logo on a helmet, like an old school, like
that would be dope to see that. That would be really dope.
So that logo would be sick. So one thing I'm gonna say here. I think these team ratings are actually factual at this point because these are the same team ratings we saw in the team rating and like the offense of the top 10 and the defensive top 10. I think these are official.
Yeah, I think so.
Texas is 92, Michigan is an 88. This screen looks sick.
Yeah, it does. I like the whole tearaway feature, and EA's been going at that for a couple of years now, and they really took advantage of it with the college. I think this is the perfect scheme to go with this at.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's clean, it's not too busy. The last college football game, it was kind of, again, we're talking two generations now. So we're comparing games from two generations. It was so much stuff that was happening within the game that you couldn't switch through the uniforms fast enough. Like if you tried to switch through the uniforms, it would take forever to load. I don't think this is going to be the case now. They're playing on the PS5, so
obviously they're playing on PS5. It's just the overall look. The UI throughout this game is just so clean.
Right.
It's you see how clean the UI is everywhere in this game. And I think that they really leaned into the the college football revamp guys on this. Like the college football revamp guys were they actually like used them and they actually like listened to them. They just awesome. Like they did such a fantastic job on the UI, not just here, but throughout the entirety of the game.
Yep.
And I know I'm muted. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. And it's still paused. Okay, there we go. So yeah, and then we're here now. I just need to whoops. I just want to be able to pause it whenever I need to. Okay. The first thing I noticed was the presentation. Them coming out of the gates, them playing the fight song, the crowd. This is the
crowd
best
was good. This is the best crowd we've
ever seen in a sports game.
Yeah.
Ever seen in a sports game. It looks so good. Like this whole thing is so sick. I think I was like I was hyped just by seeing this.
Yeah. I like the fact that they have again made the entrance one of the most important parts of the game. Whether you guys like it or not, that is a big deal in college football. Like the Enter the Sandman at Virginia Tech, that's a big deal. The running down and touching Howard's Rock at Clemson, that's a big deal. Dotting the I at Ohio State, that's a big deal. That's a big deal, whether people want to acknowledge that or not. That is a part of the game. I personally do not know of any game that I'm going to be overlooking, especially in dynasty modes, playing different teams and things of that nature. I plan and I'm making it a purpose to play every single team or play with every single team at least once.
I think at some point I want to just to check out all the different things
because it's so much.
Honestly, I want to check out like Tennessee's Checkered Stadium. Like I definitely want to do that.
Tennessee's Checkered Stadium, like Rocky Top. That's a big deal.
I'll be doing that with Texas Dynasty for sure.
Auburn's War Eagle, the Eagle coming in and swooping in during the game. Like these are like critical points. Like some people, like believe it or not, they have been recruited to these schools and they committed because they were like, dog, I went to the game.
I want to see
and I was like in awe.
Fly down. Like that's so dope. Like
that's a thing. So like I'm looking forward to that.
Some of the things we're going to be able to, just as fans of Texas, I'm excited to see what our next 5 year. I don't really care about going to road games in the Big 12 because it's like there's not really that many cool places to go. When we go to Tennessee, I'm going. First off, if you guys don't know, I lived in Knoxville, so I haven't been back to Knoxville but twice since I've moved here. Really? I'm going to Neyland Stadium. Yeah, I've only been back twice. And both times I was younger, and Tennessee was terrible, so I didn't bother. The second time I went, Tennessee was terrible, so I didn't bother going to a game. And I think we went in like after the season. I'm going to that Texas versus Tennessee game when it's at Neyland Stadium. 100%. I am going to that game. The last time I was at Neyland Stadium, I was like 6 or 7. I went with my uncle. And it was Florida and Tennessee, and we got our ass kicked.
Oh,
yeah, it was not pretty. Peyton Manning did not play well. It was not pretty.
Wait. So you've actually seen Peyton Manning in college?
Yeah, that's how I found out about football.
Oh wow! See, I didn't see it. I didn't know that you saw Peyton in college.
Peyton Manning went to the University of Tennessee while I lived in Tennessee. That's why.
I thought you had already moved by that time.
I moved in '98, the year. So we moved here in August of '98. So his senior year, we moved here.
Right. Isn't that the national championship year? Oh no, the next year.
'99 was the national championship year.
Right. With T. Martin.
And then when we got here, you couldn't watch other games back then, right? You could only watch what was local. So I never watched
what was local. Yep.
You'd only hear about it in like the newspaper or whatever, right? I'd read the sports. Well, I tried to read the sports sections. I knew how to read scores and stuff, so I'd read the sports section. That's how I found out about Peyton Manning, it being his last year. That's how I also found out that Peyton Manning got drafted by the Colts I never watched NFL football. That's when I started watching NFL football. Was his
Dog, this is
his
awesome,
rookie
dude. I
year.
did not know this. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I did not know that.
So, yeah,
I honestly thought that you had moved. I knew that you had lived in Knoxville, right? I just thought that you moved to Knoxville before Peyton, or I didn't know that you had went to a game previous to living there. I didn't know that. I just knew that.
So
you
my
lived in
first
Knoxville.
experience with football, just going off on a tangent here. We went to my uncle's, and just like everybody's an uncle and aunt, right? So it's like a family friend, right? So we went to my uncle's house, and in Tennessee you have basements, right? So he was in the basement watching a football game, and I was like, "Well, what is this?" Like I didn't know what this is. My parents had only moved to the U.S. like maybe 6 years before that, 7 years before that. So they were still basically immigrants. They'd been here for less than 10 years. And we went down to the basement. My uncle was watching this game, and this guy was not sitting on the couch or anything, right? He wasn't standing. This guy was sitting on the head of the couch watching this game. So, he was sitting on the head of the couch, and he was watching Florida versus UT, which is like the big rivalry.
That's a game. Right? What was that game? What is that game called? What is that game?
I think it's just. I don't think there's a name to it.
Because Georgia and Florida have the cocktail party.
The cocktail party, yeah. I don't think there's an actual name to it. They just call it the third Saturday in September.
Okay. Yeah. So
it's not like it's just called the third because they always play the third Saturday in September. Like that's when they play. Right.
That might actually be the name of it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it's called the third Saturday in September. So and Florida was kicking the hell out of Tennessee. This is, I think, Peyton's freshman year.
Okay,
was the first time I saw it. And then I started asking my uncle. I was like, "What is this game? Why are they throwing this weird shaped thing? Right? Like, what's going on?" I was 4 or 5 at the time. And he started explaining it to me. I was like, "Oh, wait, this is really cool." And I was like, "Who's that guy?" And it was Peyton Manning. And my uncle was like, "That guy's going to be really good someday." Like, oh, okay. Like, whatever the hell that means, right? Little did I know that I'd be watching him for the next 20 years at that point in my life. So, but my connection with Peyton Manning goes very, very deep.
It's very deep. Okay. Yeah. It makes sense.
That's the reason why I became a Colts fan. Because, again, my family didn't know anything about football. I just followed Peyton to the Colts. Right. That's why I became a Colts fan.
Right.
I just stayed there. And then obviously I knew more when I came to Texas. I grew up here, became a Longhorn fan, and the rest is history. Yeah. Like I'd only known Tennessee for those 4 years, and I was a little kid, and it was only because of some old guy.
Yeah, so you don't have you technically you're gonna have a hard time, man, because you go on the good old Rocky Top, man. That's where it all started. But you're
bro. I bleed burnt orange. Hard times here. All right. Let's get back to this. But yes, that's my Rocky Top story. That's why I was never dedicated to the university. I was only dedicated to Peyton Manning.
I respect it. I understand. That kick meter is going to cause a lot of problems.
You saw it here. You see it here later on in the game.
Yeah.
I think immediately.
You made yourself go mute. Unmute yourself. You're muted. Unmute yourself. There we go.
I think they show here pretty early. If you try to hit stick tackle, it's not going to work.
Yeah, you're going to whiff.
Like he did right there. Very, very cool. The animations, there's not a lot of animations in this game. And when there are animations, they make sense.
Right.
You see a little bit of the passing meter there and how important it is. Nothing really here that I'm just like, okay. I mean, we've seen a lot of this kind of stuff, right?
I will say this: it does sound like it is important to get to utilize,
yeah,
to not necessarily like throwing in the right direction and making sure that your passing is on point, but like making sure that you get these short and intermediate passes going, because that seems to build the meter. And this is all where I think a lot of Madden players and a lot of college football players are going to have a way hardcore college football players know about your hot and cold spells.
Yeah.
When you're hot, you can do a lot. When you're cold, it's not a lot that you can do.
Yep. There's
Right,
a hit.
it was interesting to see that defensive back and that linebacker not necessarily be able to tackle this guy.
So this is what's really cool. This is where I think the AI has really improved. You talk about swarm tackling and game tackling. Look at how these guys just swarm. You see how these guys just swarm right here? Now they all don't get to the tackle, but the fact that they all swarm, I don't know what the hell this guy is doing. That's probably just Bordeaux sucking at the game. But
I think that's Bordeaux. You can see it highlighted.
Yeah. I think that's super, super awesome. You don't see a lot of gang. And look, I've talked to some guys that are like, well, there's not a lot of gang tackles. There's not a lot of gang tackles in real life either. It's about swarming the football and guys knowing where the ball is, right?
Yeah, pursuit. It's all about pursuit.
I think simulating that is more important than actually like, well, there has to be like 15 guys on the ball every single time. No, it's not. No, that's not necessarily the case. This was my favorite clip of the video. I hate that it was against Texas, but this is my favorite. This is where the skill gap will come in. That's not a juke. That's all stick work.
Yeah.
This is absolutely beautiful, and I hate that it came against us, but this is so beautiful. Ooh. Like double juke with the stick, the left stick. Let me mind you, not the right stick, the left stick. It's just so like.
Yeah, dude,
it epitomizes what we're looking for when it comes to stick work, right?
Of course,
and there's one of the custom celebrations. Yeah,
got celebrations in there. Listen, the crowd looks good. What I would like to see in the future doesn't necessarily have to be today. It doesn't have to be next week. I'd like to see them bring back fan signs. Remember, you can have fan signs.
Yeah.
You can go in and edit the fan signs. That would be hilarious. I would like to see them
bring next year thing for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, but it's still look a lot of nods. This is very interesting to have your stamina meter and your other meter, the meter that talks about your I forget what
composure.
Not your composure meter, but your body.
Your wear and tear meter.
Wear and tear meter. There we go.
Yeah.
The wear and tear meter is really, really important. Now, we did find out something over the weekend, or I found out something over the weekend just by rereading a lot of that stuff again. That was a very long deep dive that we got last weekend, over 17 pages of deep dives and screenshots. You can turn wear and tear off.
Yes.
And you can turn that off. So that doesn't necessarily.
You're safe now.
Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to see here, and you saw it in a couple of screenshots. I wanted to see the crowd get up and start cheering as he's heading for the end zone.
Right.
You see that on like big plays, like I noticed that on big plays, but like right here, that crowd should have been up and rolling like before, like as soon as
before he gets in there.
Yeah, or the crowd starts to raise as he gets in there, which I didn't listen for that. So
right.
Here they're talking about the wear and tear and the momentum and all that composure stuff and how that impacts the way
why they brought back. Okay, go right there. Stop right there. Either one, it doesn't matter.
Oh. That's just the if you don't throw it as accurate, you see how he had to readjust himself.
Yep, to catch the ball.
If that was blue, he would have been if the not the player blue, but if the throw was in the blue, he could have
caught it in stride.
Yeah.
I do like this. I don't necessarily know if this is going to show within the game as the game is progressing, but that's awesome. The fact that you can see that, like, hey, this is a high risk injury. Do you want to sub your guy in and bring in another guy? I think this is going to be one of those games again. This is going to be really in depth. you're going to need to be able to utilize everybody on the team. It doesn't matter about your starters because your starters are going to get they're gonna wear and tear throughout the game. So you need to be able to utilize your starters and know your personnel, right? Again, I really think that this game is way deeper than what we think. It is simple, but it's way deeper than what we think. And when it comes to knowing your personnel, packages, when to sub players out, when to bring players in, continuing to run with that player. Do you continue to run with CJ Baxter if he has a risk of getting a high injury on his leg? Do you take that? Like, obviously, you see right leg, your breaking tackle goes down. COD, I don't necessarily know what COD is going to mean.
Change of direction.
Oh, okay. So change of direction. And your speed, of course, you lose speed. Do you see him out for a couple of games? Or do you continue to let that happen? Or do you continue to make that substitution and get a new guy in there?
Yep. Just very cool detail, and this updates throughout the game, right? So if you sit also, and they'll talk about it later. It gets better, like if he rests a play or doesn't play for a quarter, this will continue to get better. And Scott will talk about it here in a second. This kind of quote unquote recovers as the game progresses. So like a quarter, a play, a half, and so it'll continue to progress as the game goes. Just more wear and tear stuff, and that's just them talking about the game. So, there's nothing here to see. There's more gameplay here. This is the speed option. First off, it'd be very cool to see if Texas uses this year. Three things about the speed the option game, right? And LG and Sykes will talk about it here in a second. But you have three different option types, right? You've got the quick pitch, the hard pitch, and then you've got the standard pitch, right? And it's all based on how hard you press the pitch. Here you can see that this is, I believe this is the quick pitch. Yep, that's a quick pitch. And you can see how Baxter is able to get it off in stride and continue his run. And Sykes will talk about it here in a second. So pitch types. So the way the option game is run is completely different. You get the quick pitch, which is what that was. And then you get a strong pitch. Fake pitch is the third one. So you go fake out the defender, be able to hold on to the football, and it's just, it just adds a different dynamic to the option game. And I think this is very, very cool. It's very realistic, very situational how you can use this. I think they did a very good job with this pitch game. Just again, another way to show, this one gets picked up, but ideally, ratings will dictate and the play by the defense here. And I don't think this is a switch off. I think this is just the CPU playing. Even though Quinn threads the needle here, which is actually a really good throw, you can see the DB jump the route right there. You can see that safety. I think is that the corner? Oh no, you can see the safety jump the route. This just goes back to how much they worked on the AI in this game. They're playing their zone back there, but then they notice that a guy is coming up and the safety comes up. That's all AI doing work here, right? That's not the user controlling. And this has been an issue in Madden where the AI just doesn't react well enough. So very, very good job by the team to improve the AI of the game. Of course, he gets the pick six. Very next play, you'll see, a pick. This is a user pick, and I believe this is using the switch stick. The one thing I don't know is it's hard to tell when they use switch stick and when they don't, right? But no, he's using a shell. He uses the cover 2 shell. So this is another cool aspect of the game. If you notice here, as the shell is being used, you can see the guys move around in motion pre-snap. Like, this is really cool stuff here. Like this goes back to the chess game of each team, right? Derek Williams goes back there. You have, I believe this is this is number 7. I don't know who this is. Forget who that is. But then you have the safety back there in the back corner, and this goes from a cover 2 look. But when the ball is snapped, this is he shows cover 2, And actually, I believe that he said that this is a cover 3, and that's how he's able to get the pick. That's the chess match in this game. Just another way, a lot of underneath passes to CJ Baxter. How is that blue meter, getting the ball in that blue meter is very important. It's what keeps your guy in stride. It helps. It's what predicates your ability to get the ball and get moving. Right? You talk about Yak for example. It just adds a different dynamic to the game. Just the gameplay overall is smooth. Here we'll see the ability. This is probably the running game is probably my favorite part of the game. Just the way that the running, just how smooth the running game is probably one of my favorite parts of the game. So you could see how smooth Donovan Edwards moves. Now I think this is also partially just how good he is as a runner. The change of direction is also really good. The play call screen, you'll get a different view if you're playing single player, like if you're just playing like Online Dynasty or whatever. But this is what the play call screen looks like. You've seen the Online Dynasty view or the single player view where you have like the replay. You'll have like the different stats from the like the various panels that they have there, and then you have the play call screen at the bottom. That's what it's going to look like in single player. But yeah, and they're kind of showing you the shell. So yeah, he might be playing a nickel defense, which cover 2 look, but then you can shell to a cover 4 where it looks like these two DBs are also going to float back in this formation. But then you'll come back and actually playing a man, right? Just a little chess game. You can see the 2-man look, cover 0. So it looks like it's an all-out blitz, but you're actually playing cover 1, and that guy comes back, and you can just kind of see it's just a chess game, but just more of the player movement in this is just phenomenal. How smooth this game looks is phenomenal. You see Donovan Edwards. Now this, guys, I'll show you guys something here. I don't care what anybody says. If you guys remember the Charlie Strong Texas Longhorns, this is a very real. This is that stupid tackle crap that Charlie Strong and that defense used to, or no, that arm bar tackle, that crap. Like that's how they used to teach tackling at Texas. And yes, you will get you're muted, Tim. I can't hear you. You will get those types of animations if you try to tackle like a 2-year-old. Like it's just how it's gonna work, right? But again, you just see how fluid. I'm just very excited about running the ball in this game because you just see how fluid Donovan runs the ball. And I imagine if he's running it this fluidly, what it looks like with the guy with lesser ratings, how that's going to look, because it's not going to look like that. If you have a guy that's like a 70 overall with a change of direction of 50, it's not going to look like this. And I think that's where first look at the pause menu. And I believe this has been tweeted out. So here, this is what this is actually my first time looking at this menu, and it looks very clean. Again, just more clean UI, very easy to see. You know where everything is. There's not a lot of surprises. It just looks clean, man. And that's what I really like about this. It looks clean. So, Tim, can we get a mic check? No check. It's still no hearing. All right, while Tim figures that out, it just looks very clean. It just looks clean, man. Like I love the way, and then you've got the orange touch to it on the background, the orange tint here. So whatever school you are controlling is probably what this is going to be, which is really cool. These are just all the celebrations that you can do. This brings a little bit of a FIFA aspect. So those of you that guys that play FIFA, there's different celebrations based on, when you score a goal, based on whatever button combination you push. You can have different celebrations, and that has been added to this. Very, very cool. I love this. It's a lot different than what they have in Madden, which is just the upright left down on the right stick, which is different from what they used to have, but it's still not as cool. Threading the needle. This is just one of those throws where Quinn just threads the needle, and it's great sideline throw, a beautiful sideline throw. These are the types of things that are not possible in Madden. They try to replicate it with freeform. It just doesn't have the same effect. But yeah, this throw to CJ Baxter, very, very beautiful, very reminiscent of what we expect from some of the throws that he makes. Hopefully, he makes these throws in real life. But that's a hit. Hey, Tim's back. What's up, Tim? So I was just showing them your favorite throw of the whole demo, which is the Quinn Ewers to CJ Baxter throw. This is just talk about this because I know you really like this throw.
I like the throw because one, it's the ball placement. It's on the outside. It's on the outside. Well, not necessarily on the outside shoulder. It's on the inside shoulder of the player over the defender and is in the position of being out of bounds. So if he overthrows his shoulder, unless there's an elite guy on him, and I don't necessarily know, we don't know the attributes of this cornerback, but unless that guy's an elite corner, 9 times out of 10 that pass is going to be made. If it's an elite defender there's a good chance of it being swatted, or if a guy that is good at utilizing the stick maneuver, where you can move the stick around, that could be a potential for an interception. Now, you've seen, in the earlier portions of the game where Bordeaux throws interceptions, he throws into double coverage, he throws near a guy that is an elite player, also in a position where the defensive lineman makes a play. Those are going to be more. You'll see more turnovers on that position. But with that being said, I think it'll be harder for you. It's going to be harder for smaller players or players that are not of elite status, or even impact players. It's going to be harder for those guys to defend. And I don't necessarily know. What guys are what, but based on what we've seen so far, impact players are going to play a major factor in this game.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to call, and this is a concern of yours, all these guys have a lot of abilities. We haven't really seen a lot of those abilities been activated yet. Even though there's, and I know this is a concern of yours, is, on this throw, I just want to show off this throw. Quinn makes a really good throw. Quinn has an ability to make this throw even look better, but it does not activate in this scenario. So it goes to show, like, your abilities are there, but they just because you have the ability to do something in real life doesn't mean you do it every single time.
I like the fact that they brought in secure catch. Spectacular.
Finally, possession catch is the most useless thing I've ever seen. I don't like possession catching. I think it actually it's counterintuitive to what the actual anticipation is. This is an example of a hit stick working.
Okay.
That was an example of hit stick working, and that's just an example of this is just pure great running. Oh, here you go. Finally, for the first time, I think, Donovan's been juking all game. For the first time, his juke actually activates this juking ability. So this is the first time you see his juking ability activate. I think they talk about what that ability is, and it gives him enough momentum to pull off another stiff arm, which allows for the big run, right? That is the first time the entire game. It might have been the only, and maybe there's one other time where that ability activated, and I think they talk about what that ability is here in a second.
To see the guys rolling. Okay, pause it right here. Go back to the
play call.
Play. I personally, this is me. This is where I come in. This is where I get nitpicky. I don't like how that looks. I do not like the art in that. I didn't like it on the. And again, I thought this
It looks big, right?
it looks unnecessary. And for people that have bad vision, I
Yeah.
thank God I don't suffer from that. But people that need to wear like glasses and stuff, that looks terrible to me. That looks terrible. I think they need to keep it simple, right? Go back to the playstyle art that you had in the last games. I think that was perfect. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. Let's not try to reinvent the wheel. I get it. They want to make it a little different. But to me personally, I don't like how that looks. I don't like how that looks at all. This is my only real critique. And you know how I felt about, and I kind of went into it more into detail about it last week with Ultimate Team and how impact players and things are going to be, you know, how they're going to be handled and how what type of difference they're going to make. Other than that, I just don't like that the art of the play selection.
I think it's the same art. It's just blown up. Like, yeah, honestly, that's all. And I don't like it. I think it actually looked goofier in Madden than it did and than it does here. Like,
Yeah.
if you remember, I mean, you played it, so in the beta, like the play art it actually looks like it's an eyesore almost.
Yeah. I think that other than that, the game looks really good.
Yeah. I want to go back here real quick. I'm not in here, but a chat that I'm in. Somebody made a comment about this tackle, this run here. So basically, this is where Donovan. Nope, that's the hit stick. Oh, that's CJ Baxter's spin move. His ability activated right there. Spin cycle.
Okay.
So this right here. So right here, he talks about you know.
Man, that shit looks crazy. That looks nuts.
So basically what the guy told me is when Donovan Edwards stiff-armed the Texas player and Bordeaux tried to re-engage, Donovan and the guy runs into Donovan and passes him.
I mean, that's not nothing I'm really worried. Again, we don't necessarily know the build of the game. We're all guessing on the speculation. What part is he saying?
I think right here. So he gets him, right? And then he tries to re-engage him, but Donovan blows by him. That is realistic, though. So he's talking about this guy right here. So watch number 5. You see how he tries to re-engage after the stiff arm?
Okay.
He's saying that this is not like real. That he's
that's
just running
getting a pursuit. That's a pursuit angle. That's real. That's as authentic as you could possibly get. What I don't. What more is he looking for? Is he looking for him to dive? Because the way that Donovan Edwards is running the ball, he's going to outrun the defender. So the defender is, if you look at it, and I don't know if this is Bordeaux doing this or if it's the computer, but it looks like it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, because that's where the player is.
Like hit play on it right quick.
So if you look, right, he tries to. So he basically is saying when Donovan stiffs armed the Texas player, Bordeaux tries to re-engage, and the guy runs into Donovan and passes him. I don't know where he's running into him. I don't understand that.
That's
right there. So when he stiff arms him, right there. Oh, right there. That's what he was talking about. You see where he stiff arm, and then he tries to re-engage and he can't. Well, yeah, because he's out of the play.
He's stumbling.
Yeah.
That happened. I don't know. Okay. For y'all that have not played football in real life, I don't care if you play high school football, middle school, college, pro, whatever. When somebody hits you, right? If you this is physics right now. Now we're talking about physics. If somebody hits you, right? Donovan Edwards stiff arms you, right? Which is not gonna be. It's not gonna be a light stiff arm. He's going to try to throw you.
Yeah.
You have on a helmet. I don't know if y'all know, but helmets weigh about 8 to 10 pounds. Your chest pads, depending on the position, they could either be very light or very heavy.
Correct.
If you get thrown, if you're running, and let's say you're running at 12 miles an hour. This is just a football play, right? You're running at 12 miles an hour trying to stop a 215-pound running back that can stiff arm like a 300-pound man. You're gonna be, once he stiff arms you, do you see how he stumbles? He's done. Yeah. He cannot make a play.
What is this guy behind him doing? Who's 7? Oh, he whiffed on the tackle. He whiffed. Okay, never mind.
On the tackle.
Yeah.
The other guy tries to make this is all physics. Listen, I have no problem with this whatsoever.
But this is the thing, right? People say physics, and then when they get it, they want to complain and cry about it.
If you look at this right now, that looks way better in slow motion than it did in real.
That's kind of badass.
The detail in that is crazy. He stiff arms him, his arm goes up because he stiff arms him in the area of where the guy's trying to tackle him. He stiff arms him, he's off balance. He cannot make a play. He's done. If he were to try to make a play, he'd probably trip him and he'd get even more yards added on to the penalty after the penalty. So no, that makes sense. That looks great. Like, what? What are we talking about right here? This looks great. I listen. For y'all that haven't watched this video, Donovan Edwards runs up the. One thing I do want to mention, Donovan Edwards runs the same play a lot. I do want to see that the AI actually catch on to that. I do want to see them actually catch on to that. So,
that's one thing I'm curious about. I was not familiar with Donovan Edwards' game. I didn't know he ran like this. I thought he was just a speed guy. I think it's because he was the second guy last year behind Blake Corum. You didn't really see him run, and a lot of what he did was downfield. He was a home run guy.
Right.
I'm actually kind of worried about Donovan Edwards when we play Michigan. Yes.
If he runs like this, Jesus. That could be an issue.
Yeah. So this looks really sick. This is basic physics. Like once he you can't re-engage immediately once you're being thrown off the ball. Like once he's thrown, he's off the ball at this point.
Dude, he has his arm on his shoulder pad.
Yeah.
Like that's it. First off, if his hand is where I think it is, if his hand is in between this shoulder, because you have two parts, right? You got this that covers, and then underneath you have a smaller shoulder pad that's underneath that it braces that impact. So when you fall, there's a padding underneath that big pad. If you get your hand in there, there's nothing that a defender can do if he's in this setting. So he's literally out of the play.
Done. Once that stiff arm animation is done, he's at this point when he's right here. I think this is what he's talking about. So he stiffs arm, right?
Boom, right there. He's out of it. Look at him stumble.
Right here, this is what he's talking about. He's off balance at this point. You can't just, when you're on a real football field and you're off balance, not even looking in the same direction as the guy. Yeah, you're not gonna reach back and grab him in that instant, right? That's not real.
That comment came from somebody that's been playing Madden for 10 years.
Yeah,
and that is no more.
That is how that works.
But do you see how Donovan stumbles? Do you see how Donovan stumbles trying to get around him? That's cool. There would be a problem. Look, watch this. Now he stumbles right here. He stumbles, then he tries to regain his ability.
Yeah, because at this point, he probably felt like the whiff of the guy behind him, right?
Right.
And then that's probably where he stumbles. But he's also at the same time, while feeling that whiff, he's trying to get back around. Why they had to do Manny Muhammad like this, man? Come on now. Now Manny, he's trying to get around Manny at the same token while being kind of tripped up by air, I guess if you could say, because they're going so fast. Yeah, this is all physics.
Yeah, it's all physics. I like what's going on. I have no problem with what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, that's let me hold on a second. Let me go back and get something here real quick for the guy that I'm talking to. So anyway, okay. But yeah, we that this is little physics. But I know Tim, you got to jump off here.
Yes, sir.
You go and take care of what you got to take care of. I'm about to jump off here in about 5 minutes. I want to see if this guy comes in. I'll talk to him about this.
Oh yeah, please.
And then you can check it out later.
All right.
Yeah, this is little physics. I'll go and close this out, and then do we want to do something tomorrow too?
Yeah, we'll do something tomorrow.
All right, cool, man. You have a good one. Y'all can follow Tim Wayne at Tim Wayne, and we'll see you later.
See you guys.
Peace. All right. So, yeah, this is just physics, right? And of course, Bordeaux doing more talking. This is probably just more sideline catches, the way you throw the ball. This was a yellow, so it's a little bit more riskier throw, but it was still a clean throw. But yeah. So, but yeah, that's just physics, dude. I don't know what else this guy I was talking to is trying to explain. That's literal physics. Some other things I just want to call out real quick. Just the presentation of the game is just beautiful. This is what I want to talk about. So I think at this point, Bordeaux's thrown a couple picks, right? He's lost all momentum, as you can see. And he goes into this speed huddle thing. And this speed huddle thing is about quick passes, getting the ball out, creating some momentum. This again changes. Sorry. Anyway, I can't talk to certain people anymore. So we'll keep this playing here. I want to go back real quick and just he'd had a couple turnovers at this point, and this is where when Quinn's ability kind of shoots in, where he has the ability to kind of quick snap, get rid of the ball, do a turbo play, which is like the new the secondary no huddle, where you can do a turbo huddle, and it kind of throws off the defensive line. And then but the importance of this being able to work is Quinn being able to make on schedule throws, right? Being able to see, he sees the blitz here. You could see the coverage shows, and then being able to throw off of that and making the right throw is really key to this. And this is how Bordeaux scores easily. So this is not something that changes the momentum of the game. Sorry, this guy that I was talking to is saying a bunch of stupid shit, and it doesn't make any sense. All right, so second game, you want to go too deep into this? The one thing I want to see, the one thing I want to show on the second game is just this environment. And this is so sick. And if you guys heard it with there's a night game, it's a whiteout game, just the crowds, the entering of the stadium, the presentation, just so sick. This is what it's all about, man. The band's right there. They're playing the fight song as they come out, and I think Donovan's like, "Yo, this is actually kind of give me chills." But the opposite side of this is Donovan comes out, he gets a sack, and he gets the animation. He didn't get this animation in the first game. It's the exact same player, and Mason Graham did not have that animation in the first game. So you kind of see a little bit of the stem action, the custom stems that they can use. I don't think Bordeaux uses the custom stem, and if he did, he tried to throw it on that slant when he had, what looked like a cover 2 right here as the middle linebacker trots back. The safety takes all the way back, which is deep, and then I think Bordeaux just throws it too early, honestly. Again, Bordeaux does not claim to be a very good football player or player of the game. He's said this many, many times. So I think this is just realistic of what the skill gap actually is. But he has a really nice run here, able to get out, get into the second level, jukes out a couple of guys. I don't think. Yep, no. Again, this is all stick work. There was no ability there to make him do that. So I think it just goes to show hopefully what the balance of the game. So anyway, let's see. Let's go back to this. I'm sorry. Oh, this is another ability, Rail Dog. So this one says ultimate increase to composure gains on the road. And again, he's dominating the game at this point, right? So this is a mental ability for Donovan Edwards, and he's able to use that mental ability to his advantage. It's not forcing him to lose any momentum in the game. He's not, losing composure or anything like that. So just another way to show this is a way to show the mental abilities. But you can see here what not having mental abilities can do for you. But again, it's about making the right read, making the right play, being smart, so that that stadium pulse, as you guys know, the number 6 place to play, Penn State, very, very loud, very rowdy, but he's able to get a huge play off the end there, and you can hear the crowd kind of like silencing as he makes that play. So just presentation wise, just presentation wise, just the way the game is played out, very, very cool. But yeah, very, very cool. I don't think there's anything else here I wanted to call out. I think this is pretty much it. Again, when you throw into double coverage against I think is that Will Johnson? No, it's not, but I think Will Johnson was there. Yeah, when you're throwing into double coverage like this, especially with the quarterback that's not very good, and Drew Aller, I don't care what Penn State fans say, he's not very good. The result's not going to be very good. So just kind of shows, Kitty Jones. Oh, Kitty Jones is who that was. And then now you can see the composure meter. Aller's in the blue. The running back's in the red. So Aller is cold, and he's at home. So he's struggling while he's at home. Just goes to, again, just how that impacts the game. And then he has this red throw, and it ends up being an errant throw. He gets hit, and then of course he gets picked off. So I think that's it for the game. I don't think there's. You can see him missing the kicking meter, right? This is the one cool thing. Listen, college players don't make a lot of kicks to begin with, and the fact that they showed off, even though he's pretty much almost in the green. He's actually a little bit left, right? And then going in the red is not a good thing, as you can see. this makes it an errant kick. So having that rating there, the importance of it being, where you want it to be, and then also being able to hit that meter in the green is going to be very, very important. The pump fake. Oh my God. Look at this. The pump fake actually works this year. Look at the pump fake and how he gets the corner to look at the pump fake and how he gets the corner to bite on the pump fake. Look, he pump fakes right there. You see the corner right here? This guy is now looking at the underneath route, the screen route right here, right? So it leaves number 7 wide open. Beautiful. Finally, we've been waiting years for the pump fake to be effective, and it's finally effective. Now, I don't think it's going to be effective on every single play, but it goes back to, timing, use it, how you use it. Very intentional with how they wanted this to go. So just another good way. And this is just more stick work. The stick, I've heard the human joystick, as you can see, is what that looks like, and how that's able to work in Donovan Edwards' favor. Just another way to thread a throw, and how important it is to get in the right meter, so that the player has the ability to run on throw on the run and actually make a play for himself. Yeah, and then this is just a great. This is an animation, right? But the ability to make that catch is really nice. And just another bad throw by Bordeaux. He throws a deep ball, I think, late here that he actually catches, and I thought that was really cool. This was very cool. The snow game. This is actually very, very cool. And just the impact snow and the weather have on the game. Very, very cool. This is the play. This play was awesome. Even though it was a red throw, this is what I'm curious about. Is this where player ratings come into effect? His ability to make certain catches because of his player's ability. As you can see, his composure is not very high, but he's trying to throw the ball down the field. How effective? Even though this is a blue throw, he's cold. So how's he gonna? And then obviously there's an ability that unlocks for the defender. But he makes this throw, and they talk about the healing stages of wear and tear. It's week to week, could be a quarter, could be a game, could be a couple weeks, depending on who the player is. He steps into the pocket. First off, how the pocket is sealed right here is awesome. The pocket is sealed. Drew Aller is able to step into the pocket and make this throw, which is a beautiful throw. And then just the ability for the wide receiver to go above the defender and make the catch. This is some physics. This is some animations. But if you look at how he grabs the ball from the defender, this is a realistic catch. Like, this can actually happen. Look at how the placement of his hands are right before the defender. So there's some really, really cool things. And really cool, weird juke move. He jukes backwards, but it gets the defender off his hands because he's using the defender, and goes for a tackle animation that just didn't work. So also, I really like this player card that shows the player of the game. Just a nice little touch. Again, just goes back to presentation. But yeah, guys, we're gonna get out of here. This game looks phenomenal. We're really excited about it. I'm sure you guys are really excited about it. You're really excited about it. We're very excited about it. But yeah, hey, Tim Wayne, follow him at Tim Wayne. Always follow me at the Uncle Gandhi. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Longhorn Fan Battle. And then, of course, follow us on TikTok at Longhorn Fan Battle Podcast. Between now and tomorrow, my name is Harish. My guy Tim Wayne will be back with us tomorrow. We'll see you guys later. Peace.